with Big Mo. Oh, man.
Christopher, you ready?
Are you going to keep boxing?
Yeah.
You really love this shit, huh?
Jake Paul's meltdown began the instant Anthony Joshua shattered the illusion with a brutal reality check. As Logan Paul watched his brother get dismantled, frustration boiled over and the fallout became uglier than the knockout itself. What followed wasn't just defeat. It was a public unraveling, a family implosion, and a moment that exposed everything on the world stage.
Incredible!
Jake Paul being measured up by Joshua for that right hand! Gets clipped again!
The fight was marketed as bold, dangerous, and history-making. Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua was framed as a gamble that could rewrite boxing narratives. But once the bell rang, it stopped being a gamble and became a harsh lesson. Few expected it to spiral this badly. Not just for Jake, but for Logan too. This wasn't merely a knockout. It was the collapse of hype, ego, and family pride in—
I just pissed him off. Then he broke my brother's jaw. Fuck this guy.
Broke his jaw, huh?
Yeah, oh, he's split his jaw. Yeah. He don't care though. Jake's having a fucking blast.
The real story didn't start in the ring. It began weeks earlier with Logan Paul speaking as if the outcome was already decided. From ringside clips to social media posts, he pushed one narrative relentlessly. Joshua was washed, overrated, beatable. He even claimed AJ was losing rounds before the fight existed. Legacy ender wasn't a prediction, it was a threat. Logan wasn't just backing Jake. He tied his own reputation to the result. This went beyond brotherly support. This was
largely because he was mostly running away from AJ rather than standing toe-to-toe with him to fight. It's the difference between fighting a Bengal tiger and running away from a Bengal.
The hype machine hit full throttle. Millions followed the build-up. Analysts repeated the same warning over and over. There is a massive difference between influencer boxing and a professional heavyweight who's faced world champions. But those warnings were drowned out by noise. Logan kept talking. Jake kept believing. And the Paul brand grew louder until it couldn't anymore.
Oh, the uppercut, and he took it! Jake Paul took it! Oh, the right hand by Paul!
Once the fight began, the gap was obvious. Joshua stayed calm. He didn't rush or force anything. He waited. Jake looked tight, uncomfortable, and tense. By the later rounds, confidence was gone. Survival took over. Joshua dropped Jake twice in the fifth. Clean, heavy knockdowns that drained belief instantly. In the sixth, it happened again. 4 knockdowns total. At 1:31 of round 6, it was over. Knockout. No controversy. No debate. Just silence.
Realized fighting AJ was not going to work for him, he naturally began incorporating even more flight, running away, and freezing, falling to the ground at any chance he had, just to survive the rounds.
I mean, all it's doing is buying Jake Paul more time. I don't like it at all.
Do you remember what Mike Tyson famously said? Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Anthony Joshua's gigantic. So big. He's so big. He's so much bigger. So, of course, like, his punch that he knocks Tyron Woodley out cold with, Joshua just eats it.
Yeah.
Because he's a giant.
Yeah.
He's a fucking giant man.
The numbers made it worse. Jake landed just 16 punches out of 56 attempts. That's not competitive at this level. That's being completely outclassed. The damage wasn't symbolic either. Jake suffered a double broken jaw and required immediate surgery. This wasn't a close fight that slipped away. It was a mismatch that ended exactly as professionals warned. And then the cameras cut to—
I'm just so proud of him. My mom hasn't.
Your brother fought his ass off, man. I mean,
just so
other
happy.
heavyweights have taken that right hand and only took one.
I'm just so proud of him. That was incredible. In my view, that was a victory.
As Jake was carried from the ring, Logan lost control. The confidence vanished instantly. The bravado collapsed. Commentators noticed it immediately. This wasn't just concern. It was anger, embarrassment, and panic. Logan exploded emotionally, visibly furious, not at Joshua, but at Jake. In that moment, he looked less like a worried brother and more like someone realizing his entire public image had just taken a hit.
He's going to be terrifying, and he's going to have a lot to prove. He's going to be very angry that Jake Paul wants to fight him.
That's what made it so uncomfortable to watch. Logan had spent weeks talking. Now the world was laughing. His trash talk played side by side with knockout replays. His confidence contrasted with Jake being carried away. Millions saw it unfold in real time. The Paul brothers weren't controlling the narrative anymore. They were trapped.
Like, minus the actual victory, obviously, of course, but bro, like, no one expected him to last 6 rounds with AJ. In my opinion, he won 4 of them. People will argue that he at least won 3. No one expected him to last that long. Rolled his ankle, broke his jaw, still fucking fighting, man. Like, that's toughness.
Backstage, the tension only escalated. Reports described Logan shouting, pacing, shaking, struggling to contain his rage. This wasn't just about losing a fight. This was about exposure. Joshua didn't just knock Jake out. He exposed the limits of the Paul experiment. The gap between hype and reality became undeniable, and Logan...
Realistically, it's one of the craziest propositions of all time.
Online reaction was ruthless. Fans replayed the pre-fight claims. Analysts dissected every failed exchange. Boxing commentators said what many avoided before. Influencer boxing ends when real heavyweights show up. Logan's meltdown went nearly as viral as the knockout itself. Clips, memes, and debates flooded social media. Some called it emotion. Others called it desperation as a brand cracked.
That this YouTuber who's fought Tommy Fury, who's a legit boxer, and a couple other guys that were legit boxers. That's it. Like everyone else he's fought Ben Askren, who's really a wrestler. He fought Tyron Woodley, who was an elite MMA fighter, but not an elite boxer.
Days later, Logan shifted tone. The trash talk disappeared. The threats stopped. He labeled the knockout inevitable. He admitted the skill gap. He praised Jake for lasting as long as he did. He acknowledged the injuries. The words were calmer, more measured, but the damage lingered. People remembered the shouting, the taunts, the breakdown. What made it sting was the family angle. This wasn't just a loss. It was brother versus brother in public. Logan's reaction showed how badly he needed Jake to win, not for boxing, but for image.
And there's some sort of a rehydration clause. Listen, kids, it ain't gonna matter. There's not a chance that Anthony Joshua is not going to just lose the weight beforehand. He's not gonna come in drained. What he's gonna do is just do extra cardio.
The fight will be remembered for the knockout, but the fallout is what lingers. The illusion cracked instantly. The moment the fight ended, everything unraveled. Jake hadn't even left the canvas when the camera cut to Logan. This wasn't shock. It was panic mixed with rage. His expression didn't ask if his brother was okay. It said this wasn't supposed to happen. As Jake was helped out, jaw broken, head down, the last thing anyone expected was Logan completely losing it in front of the world.
I think the camp wasn't 100%. Is that accurate?
That's kind of what I was gonna ask. Like, do you feel like it was your best camp?
No, I mean, just because, I was weighing 200 pounds when we confirmed the fight.
Logan didn't just look upset. He looked betrayed, like his entire plan had collapsed without warning. One moment he was the loudest man in the room. The next he was pacing, clenching his fists, snapping at people nearby. Cameras caught him mouthing off, shaking his head, visibly furious. This wasn't pride. This was embarrassment on the biggest stage possible.
Wobbled him. I was right there. I don't know if you heard me.
Yeah, I did.
I was like, you wobbled him.
Yeah.
Go.
That's what made it uncomfortable and almost darkly ironic. Jake was being carried out after 4 knockdowns and a 6th round stoppage. And Logan looked like he wanted to scream, "You had one job." Not at Joshua. Not at boxing. At his own brother. Commentators noticed instantly. One all but said it outright. This wasn't concern. This was panic over reputation damage happening live.
To get that world-class gas tank, you need a Sam Calavita, you need a Nick Curson, you need these plyometrics experts that got heart rate monitors on you, and they're checking when your recovery is ready and go.
Yeah.
And you fucking yeah. You need guys monitoring your recovery, monitoring your heart rate variability, your VO2 max.
For weeks, Logan spoke as if Joshua was finished. As if this fight existed solely for a Paul victory lap. He said, "Legacy ender," with confidence. But something did end. Not Joshua's legacy. The illusion the Paul brothers had been selling. Logan felt it immediately. You could see it in his restless movements, in the frantic gestures. He didn't look like a brother anymore. He looked like a manager watching.
Guy who just had a boxing match that looks like a sparring match with a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. And then you're going to fight one of the absolute scariest knockout artists in the heavyweight division.
Backstage, it didn't calm down. It intensified. Reports described Logan shaking, shouting, replaying the moment again and again. The phrase, "You had one job," summed it up. And that's brutal. Jake didn't just lose. He landed 16 punches. He got dropped 4 times. He left with a shattered jaw and surgery ahead. And on top of that, he faced his brother's anger boiling over in public.
Timing in that right hand, just spectacular.
That's a stepping in as well.
Over the top. I mean, that was a full force shot to the temple. I mean, he's Fucksville right now.
Then came the fallout. Pride took damage. Ego took more. Both brothers were suddenly under a microscope. Jake was criticized for taking a fight he wasn't ready for. Logan was criticized for talking too much and melting down when reality arrived. Reaction videos, podcasts, and comment sections became relentless. The knockout cracked the illusion. The meltdown confirmed it. What people witnessed wasn't just a fighter getting stopped. It was 2 brothers losing control of a narrative they thought they owned. That's why this moment still lingers. It wasn't clean. It wasn't controlled. It was raw. Joshua threw the punches, but the aftermath did the real damage. Skill silenced noise. Experience crushed confidence. Reality arrived without mercy. Logan's meltdown became a warning of what happens when ego outruns preparation and family pride turns into public pressure. The knockout wasn't just physical. It was symbolic. A hard line between influencer boxing and the unforgiving world of real heavyweights. The arc was brutal, loud, and undeniable. And what comes next?